Spring practice number 5. Full pads, baby. Let's recap.
What's going on, Canes fans? Another day of spring practice is officially in the books, and things were a lot more physical today. But before we summarize the practice, do me a quick favor. If you enjoy Miami Hurricanes content, hit that subscribe button. I upload a video recapping each and every spring practice and include some highlights throughout the video as well. We also have a good time on live streams throughout the season and even during the off season. So double check, even if you think you are, just make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. So today was the first day of full pads, but it was mostly just thudding. Now I do believe that there was some live tackling later on in practice, but it was pretty limited on the first day. Once those pads went on, it definitely changed the intensity at practice. There was a lot more trash talking, a lot more jawing, just all around. And that's honestly both good and expected, as there's now increased contact. And even the coaches were getting in on it a bit, especially wide receivers coach Kevin Beard and cornerbacks coach Shevis Jackson. And you could tell that the players loved that. And same goes for me. I love a very vocal coach. You guys know that I'm big on that. And I think that the players appreciate it and enjoy it as well. The DBs were once again wearing those red oven mitts during some of the drills to limit the holding. And a big story out of the wide receiver room today was the separation that JoJo and Ray Ray are able to create. Both of those guys are really fun to watch. They're having a great spring, and I still feel like not enough people are talking about Ray Ray. Now, wide receiver Robbie Washington, we know in the previous practice, was putting in some reps with the corners because that room has been a little thin, but now some of the guys have come back from injury, thankfully, and Robbie Washington was back working with the receivers today. So no cross-training on practice number 5 for Robbie Washington, at least as far as anyone saw, because as we all know, the media is only allowed around 30 to 45 minutes of viewing at practice. So outside of that, I don't know what happened, but during the viewing parts anyways, he was working straight up just with the receivers. With the pads being on, there was a big focus on tackling, forcing fumbles, and recovering them. And I have to say that while watching some of the drills, and you might even notice it in some of these clips over here on the right-hand side of your screen, one guy in particular stood out, and it was actually Zaquan Patterson. He was the guy that was setting the tone by being one of the more physical guys during his reps, and it was very apparent. And I'm hoping that, some other guys in that room, some of the veterans, will step up and also bring this level of energy to practice. I mean, Zaquan Patterson is the Xavier Restrepo of the defense. And what I mean by that is 110% every rep. The dude is always giving it his all, high energy, super intense, and you can tell that he's making every rep count. He's trying to make the most out of spring, make an impact, and he's trying to be a leader in that room even as a young guy. So you love to see that, but I'm also hoping that we see more of that same intensity from some of the veterans in that group. Now, running back Trevante Citizen participated a lot in the 7-on-7 drills, and everyone, including myself, is just anxiously awaiting full-blown contact and live tackling to see how he really does. But still, so far, so good with Citizen, and we need him to stay healthy because even though the plan is that Fletcher will be back in the summer, you still never know. You have to be very careful with that with Henry Parrish hitting the transfer portal. But Citizen is rocking the brace, but happy to report that he looks just fine. There is another running back that is really pushing in these practices, though, and that's Chris Johnson. We already knew that this guy was fast, but he truly just has a different gear that he can shift into, because today he had back-to-back breakaway plays, and it was just a great practice all around for Chris Johnson. Now, one thing that I'm loving at the quarterback position from Cam Ward is his energy. He's someone who you can tell that the team wants to rally around. Everyone can kind of get behind him. When he's making a big throw and the receiver comes down with this crazy catch, he's one of the first guys running over and celebrating. Everybody's patting helmets and jumping up and down. And it's just crazy how much of a polar opposite he is from what we got with Tyler Van Dyke. And I know that only gets you so far. People, every time I talk about this, say it doesn't matter to them. They just want to win football games. Look, I get it. But I do believe that your quarterback being super vocal and being a leader is helpful, especially for this team in particular, especially the Miami Hurricanes. I don't think we need a quiet, reserved guy. I think we need a very vocal guy that celebrates with the squad. And Cam Ward does appear to be that guy. He's been high energy every practice and super vocal, and that carried over and was the same today in full pads. Now, quarterback Jakari Brown did hit Restrepo with a well-placed deep ball today, and he actually looked quite accurate, as well as Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger looked very accurate today as well, and he's still really pushing and impressing each and every practice. Now, Emory Williams still looks like he is 100%. He hasn't missed a beat after that surgery on his non-throwing arm. But at times with Emory Williams, and he's still young, he started just 2 games last season. It still seems like he needs to put a little more juice on the ball. He needs to put a little more air under it, because there's been several times that it's been underthrown and the wide receiver has had to adjust their route. But it could also just be the fact that I'm used to watching Poffenbarger sling it out there, and the dude has a rocket for an arm. At times, he needs to dial it back. So they both they need to work together and land somewhere in the middle. But to wrap this thing up, big time congratulations to linebackers coach Derek Nicholson, who has been officially named co-defensive coordinator for the Miami Hurricanes. So you guys be sure to clap it up for D-Nick down in the comment section. That's big time. To get that upgrade, to be named co-defensive coordinator. The dude is making moves. The team loves him. The linebackers love him. He gets along with the coaching staff. That was a great hire, it seems, from Mario Cristobal. So huge shout out to Derek Nicholson for the promotion, or I guess upgrade with the title, to co-defensive coordinator. So now that the pads are on, the upcoming practices will continue to get more and more physical, and I'll keep you covered right here on the Coach Coop YouTube channel. I know that today was a little shorter than some of the previous spring practice recap videos, but they'll get longer as we get further and deeper into spring practice. And also, we're going to talk more this Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk spring ball and just the upcoming season in general. We're live on this channel every single Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'm looking forward to hanging out, talking more spring football and just college football in general with my college football family. So I'll see you guys on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And as I said, I'll keep you up to date with each and every spring practice. It seems like each video tends to kind of focus on either a position group or one side of the ball. So like today was a lot of offense, skill positions, talking about the receivers and the quarterbacks. Sometimes it's talking trenches. There's not as much, I guess, to talk about when it comes to offensive line and defensive line, because it's really just about who is starting out there. So who's running with the ones, who's running with the twos. And it's so early in spring that you don't necessarily want to pay a whole lot of attention to that. Like, you mention it, but they're going to continue to experiment with that. And that's really all there is to talk about in the trenches right now. As they go through and there's more live tackling, you'll hear more also about the linebackers and the corners and the safeties as they're able to make some plays, get some picks, force some fumbles, get some big hits. So we'll continue to talk about that, and it'll ramp up as spring practice continues. But spring practice number 5 wrapped up. The next practice is on Saturday. So right now they're doing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I believe that trend continues all the way up until the end of spring practice. And then we'll do the live hangout for the spring game. I'll also add again, and I'm just saying it because I see it over here looking at the quarterback drills. I really hope that Judd Anderson pans out. I know that he's not going to see any playing time this next upcoming year, and same goes for Emory. I think they're probably going to redshirt. But Judd truly is just a monster. I know you guys probably get tired of hearing that, but he towers over everyone else. And it's just, man, I have such high hopes. I'm hoping, bro. But let's chop it up down in the comment section below. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.